In a prosperous neighborhood of the city, 3 siblings lived with their mother and father. The eldest daughter, Muntaha, 6 years old, was wise and caring. The middle daughter, Mirha, 5 years old, was playful, talkative, and full of curiosity. And the youngest, Adil, a 4-year-old, mischievous and innocent boy. Eid-ul-Adha was approaching. The streets of the neighborhood were bustling. Everywhere cows, goats, and camels were tied. Children were bathing the animals, putting garlands around their necks, and playing with them. One evening, when everyone was sitting at home, Muntaha took out her small purse and came to her father. She said, "Baba, the money I have saved, I want to be a part of the sacrificial animal." Father smiled and said, "My daughter, your intention is very beautiful. This is what Allah likes the most." At that moment, Adil joyfully said, "Baba, give my toy truck to Allah too." Everyone started laughing. Mother lovingly explained, "Allah looks at the softness and sincerity of the heart." The next day, Mirha came to her father a bit sadly and said, "Baba, my friend's father brought a camel. Why don't we also bring a camel?" Father took her in his lap and kindly said, "Dear, Allah doesn't look at big or small animals. He sees our intention, love, and sincerity. If given with love, even a goat becomes the greatest sacrifice in Allah's eyes." Adil and Muntaha were also sitting nearby, listening attentively. 2 days later, the father took all 3 children to the market. The market was bustling. All around were animals, colorful garlands, and the joyful sounds of children. A white, innocent-looking goat was standing in a corner. Muntaha said, "Baba, I like this goat." Mirha said, "Yes, he's so cute." Adil shouted happily, "We'll name him Bola." Father said, "All right then, from today Bola is ours." Muntaha took money from her purse and gave it to her father and said, "Baba, this is my share in the sacrifice." On the night before Eid, the neighborhood streets were glowing with lights. Mother, Muntaha, and Mirha were applying mehendi in the courtyard. Adil was roaming around them. Sometimes he would grab a mehendi cone and run, and sometimes he would come back laughing. Everyone's faces were filled with joy. On Eid morning, everyone bathed, wore new clothes, and applied perfume. Bola was also bathed, and a garland was put around his neck. Muntaha gave him water, Mirha gently stroked his head, and Adil patted his horns. Father made a prayer. "O Allah, this sacrifice is for your pleasure. Please accept it." After the sacrifice, there was a bit of sadness in the children's eyes, but their hearts were filled with peace. After the sacrifice, the father explained the method of distributing the meat to the children. 1 portion is for ourselves, 1 for relatives, and 1 for those in need. Adil, while giving a meat packet to a poor child, said, "This is Bola's share for Allah." Then he turned back and said joyfully, "And my toy will be there too." Father hugged all 3 children and said, "Allah looks at the intention and love of the heart. You all have given a very beautiful sacrifice." Message: This story teaches us that sacrifice is not just the act of slaughtering an animal, but that Allah is most pleased with the softness of the heart, the truthfulness of intention, and the sincerity of love.